Well, ladies and gentlemen, Rock Band is going to be 18 years of age in about like 2 weeks from now. I think it's November 20th. This fucking game, sunk so much hours into as a child, is going to be old enough to vote legally in the United States and drink alcohol legally in the United States. That is fucking crazy to me. Also, the series is kind of dead now with the delisting of Rock Band 4. And Harmonix is now focused undivided attention on Fortnite Festival, for better or for worse, depending on who you are, I guess. But with all that in mind, I figured I would just do a sort of retrospective on this series, going through each of the 4 games and ranking each of the songs in their main set lists. Figured it'd be kind of fun to do. And with all that being said, here is Rock Band 1, the very first game. 18 years. God damn, man. Overall, I think this is a fine set list. I mean, it is the first, so you're going to see some hiccups here and there. This is also the only Rock Band game in the series to still have covers. Those old Wave Group covers dominated the original Guitar Hero trilogy. They're usually a mixed bag in those Guitar Hero games, but in the case of Rock Band 1, it is the ultimate mixed bag in the sense that the covers are either really, really good, some of the best that Wave Group has ever done, or they're really, really fucking bad, some of the worst that Wave Group has ever put together. Well, whatever. Let's without further ado, let's just get started on this shit. First song is actually a cover. It's a cover of a cover, actually. It's Aerosmith's Train Kept It Rolling All Night Long. Train kept it rolling all night long and a heave. Oh! Yeah, this is a decent cover. One of the problems that these covers kind of ran into is a singer they got to do these covers tried to mimic a singer that has a pretty distinct voice, pretty recognizable, unique voice, and it didn't really pan out all too well, but this is an exception. I think this guy does a pretty decent Steven Tyler impression. The problem is I just don't really like the song too much on its own, really. I think it's kind of repetitive, kind of too long for its own good. Also, the drum chart, playing this on Rock Band 1 on drums on the old plastic 4-pad kit is a nightmare because if you know, you know. In Rock Bands 3 and 4, they have the lane mechanic, which makes it a little more forgiving, a little easier. But man, all the way on this first Rock Band game, no, this was a nightmare, and it gave me PTSD. So for that, I'll just have to throw this in C, I guess. It's fine. It's a decent cover. I just don't really care for this song as a whole. And speaking of terrible covers, we have Sweet's Ballroom Blitz. The vocalist they got for this is ass, man. It sounds like a parody of the song almost. I fucking hate hearing it. And I love this original song so much, so hearing a cover that's such a disservice as bad as this, it just makes me want to cry, really. Luckily, I have access to customs, so I can just play the original, and I don't have to worry about hearing this fucking guy. So, yeah, I'll probably have to just put this in, I guess, D, just to be a little nice. Because the original song is good, and it still retains the qualities that makes that song good. It's just those vocals, dude. The vocals just kill it. Up next, we have, oh my god, Bane Camaro. Pleasure! Look, I get it. I get why people cling to this band. They are very important to the history, to the ethos of the franchise, those early Harmonix games. These guys were everywhere. If you're like a Rock Band Guitar Hero veteran like I am, you're well familiar with this, and because of that, you might have some sort of like emotional, nostalgic attachment to this band, as I certainly do, but the music and this song in particular is just not it. It's so goddamn boring. So rudimentary, even almost juvenile sounding. Like, the vocal group gimmick this band has is so annoying, dude. They don't really do anything interesting with it either. And I think it's just to disguise the fact that this band just cannot write riffs. The riffs are so average, painfully average. The songwriting is painfully average to the point where it's just almost kind of unbearable to listen to. It sounds like you're like at a middle school kid's birthday party. It's like I'm listening to like the band you'd hear at a middle school talent show. And I know that's kind of mean, but like still, dude, it just sounds so amateur, even for a band like this, really. And yeah, I know the hot take of the century. I know I'm gonna get flamed for saying this, but God, I just can't stand it, dude. Also, it's not very fun to play on like any of the instruments, so I'm just gonna throw it a knee. Don't like it. Sorry. Up next, Beastie Boys Sabotage, the only hip hop group that Harmonix seems to put in their games for some reason. But this is a good one. I think they charted the turntables better than they did in Guitar Hero 3. And the overall song just has this undeniable energy to it. Like, this mixture of, like, punk rock ethos with, like, the hardcore, in-your-face rapping of the trio. And that also retains their, like, their comedic and, like, charismatic flair. It's a good one. It's short and to the point, and it just doesn't really leave your head. It's crunchy, grungy, it goes hard. I love it. I think A is a good spot to put it in. Yeah, Beastie Boys Sabotage going in A. Black Sabbath Paranoid. This is also another Wave Group cover, and this one isn't too bad. Actually, I think it's solid for the most part. This isn't the best Wave Group Black Sabbath cover they had, because they had a track pack, a 3-track pack that were all Wave Group covers. It had this, NIB, Sweetleaf, and War Pigs, Luke's Wall. The cover they did for War Pigs, Luke's Wall is borderline the best cover Wave Group ever did. When I was a kid, like, I almost couldn't tell the difference. Like, it took me, like, until my teen years before I realized, hey, these are two different versions of the same song. Wow. The cover's really just that accurate. And the Paranoid cover they have on the bass set list isn't far behind. I think it's pretty solid. You can listen to either one if you really wanted to. It's fine. It's pretty good. It's pretty well put together. It's a pretty decent Ozzy impression the guy does. It's solid. B tier seems about right. So we have 5 songs, and we already have all but 2 of the tiers covered. Moving on to the next song, we have Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult. This is a good one. Very psychedelic, very trippy, very existential, bittersweet message into the song. And it's not like overbearing or like super saccharine or anything. It just also has like a generally nice vibe to it. The bridge to the song is, when it just kicks into overdrive, is like so heat. Not much to say beyond that, really, because I haven't listened to the song or played it all too much compared to the others, but I do enjoy it. I think there are other Blue Oyster Cult songs I like a lot more that were also included, like in DLC and stuff like that. Godzilla, for example, but this one is pretty great too. You can't go wrong with it. It's always good to go back to every once in a while. I think A is good. Next we have Bon Jovi, Wanted Dead or Alive. There are about 4 or 5 Bon Jovi songs I can actually stand to listen to, and this is one of them. I think the intro is actually really good. I think the atmosphere, the way it builds up throughout, is actually pretty well done. It actually really gets you hooked into the song, hooks the listener in. It takes them on a wild, and when it gets to the, it takes them on a wild ride, and when it gets to like the guitar solo and when like the instruments really kick in, it like hits hard and stuff like that. Of course, it's got your trademark Bon Jovi cheesiness that is going to be a turnoff for a lot of different people, but like overall, I think it's fun. I think it's one of the better Bon Jovi songs, especially off this album. It's good. I think B tier is fine. Up next, we have Boston's Foreplay / Long Time. This is a pretty ballsy move when you think about it, putting this Boston song above any of the others in the main track list. Eventually, the rest of the record did make its way onto DLC. It's one of those full albums that got their own DLC, which is pretty cool. This is one of those classic landmark rock albums that really defines what the genre is all about, especially in this era. So I think having this album be DLC is a pretty fantastic move. And to have this song in the main track list is also a pretty fantastic move. It is pretty fun to play, even if the intro is a little annoying to play on drums. I certainly think it is, at least. But yeah, this song rocks hard. I love how it's a sort of like a proggy like explosion in the beginning, but then the rest of the song is like this super catchy and anthemic, like hard rock, 70s hard rock song. It's got all the ingredients perfect for like a rock song of this era. It pretty much defines like mid 70s hard rock, and as someone who does like to voyeur into this genre and the era of this genre pretty often, I can't go without it. I think it's awesome. One of the better songs off that record. A tier is fine. Next, we have Nightmare by Crooked X. This is a throwback. This is a time capsule if I've ever seen one. Because even as a kid, back in the day, like, I heard there was so much buzz around this band. These guys were, like, projected to be the next big thing, but never really took off. I'm not sure why, to be honest. Because, like, these guys were, like, they were, like, not headlining gigs, but, like, they were booking some pretty big shows, man, despite being like 13, 14, 15 years old. And of course, being included in the next big rhythm game for the big rhythm game market certainly gave them a big boost they needed to like really hit the big time. But of course, as many good things last, it didn't last forever. But more to the point, the song they used, Nightmare, that was included in this track list, is pretty solid. I mean, to be fair, it does kind of sound like middle schoolers doing like a rendition of like 80s heavy metal, hard rock. It's very Metallica-esque, like Blackout Metallica-esque, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And I think the song is fun to listen to. It's pretty fun in this like cutesy, like tongue-in-cheek sort of way. And of course, like for their age, they were pretty talented musicians, which is a shame because, as I said before, they never really went anywhere beyond this. Not sure what the circumstances were, but yeah, they just kind of faded out soon after this. But Nightmare is a pretty solid song. It's pretty good entry level hard rock, heavy metal, stuff like that. It's good. Flyleaf's I'm So Sick, man. This rocked my world when I was like 7, 8 years old. Like, hearing this female vocalist just like croon in the intro and then just start like screaming her ass off, it was fucking fire to my 7-year-old brain. I will break! And then the chorus like hits hard too. And even as an adult, I can appreciate the song. I go back to it every so often. Like, even outside of the game, I think it's a pretty decent, like, mid-2000s alt-rock, almost alt-metal song. Even for someone who's not really into that sort of thing too much, like, I can appreciate the song for what it is. So I think B tier is fine. Look into the sky to save me. Foo Fighters Learn to Fly. The music video for this is a classic, and so is the song itself. I think this is one of the better Foo Fighters songs. And I think their early work, where they just sort of like this like post-Nirvana grunge alt-rock with a bit of an emo flair to it. I think this song like best encapsulates that. Like the lead riff is like very Sunny Day Real Estate-esque. Like, no kidding, they had members of that band here, present, accounted for. And the chorus like goes hard too. But I think really what sells this song for me is the bridge. Like, Dave Grohl like starts like really kicking it into high gear with those vocal melodies in the bridge. Like, I think like all together, it's just like a really well put together like pop, alt rock, power pop song, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I can't go wrong with it. I love listening to it and playing it too, which it gets an A tier for me. It's a really bang up song. Brain Power by Freeze Pop. This is another one of those local Boston bands that Harmonix were fucking obsessed with back in those early days. And I think this is a fine song. The guitar chart is surprisingly pretty difficult. You wouldn't expect it with a song like this. And I suppose it is a good means of like practicing different like tricky patterns and whatnot, because while it does have those tricky patterns, it's not like too overbearingly difficult for like an average player such as myself. So I go back to it every so often. But as for the song like itself, like without the context of the game, just as a regular song, I think it's fine. It's a pretty decent like electro retro styled synth pop song. It's a little too short for what it tries to do, and I think it could stand to be a little bit longer to flesh out some of its ideas and whatnot. But I think it's fine. It's pretty decent listen, I think. Just a little too short. It goes in B tier for me. I think I'm paranoid. Man, Garbage is such a cool band. I mean, I don't want to say they're underrated, but I think they can stand to get a little more credit, because not really discussed all too much in terms of like what the best like 90s alt rock songs, what the best like 90s alt rock acts were, because these guys really had an interesting sound palette to them. It helps when like half of the members of the band were like professional sound engineers and producers. Like, yeah, like when you have like Butch Vig, the guy who fucking worked on Nirvana's Nevermind. Like, he's the goddamn guitarist in this band, so it comes as no surprise that the production here is like astoundingly good. And it's like everything that makes like 90s alternative music as a whole like really click for me. Like the subtle like electronic trip hop bits with like even like more subtle bits of like psychedelia thrown into the mix. And of course the hook is like pretty well put together too. It's a pretty well structured like vocal melody. Overall, I think like this song has like really no flaws to it. Like, I think it's one of the best songs in this game. One of the best songs to listen to. It's probably like out of all the songs presented in this track list, it's probably the one I go back to the most, just like outside of the game. Just like, I'm a big fan of this band, and this is one of my favorite songs from them. Always has been. So honestly, yeah, S tier. S tier, baby. Let's go. Speaking of S tier, yeah, you saw this one coming. Coheed and Cambria, Welcome Home. You know, I think we're all in agreement that like every Guitar Hero and every Rock Band game, every plastic guitar game, whatever you want to call it, they each are defined by one single song and are like proclaimed like the theme song of like each particular game. And in the case of Rock Band 1, I think most of us can agree that this song right here is the theme song to Rock Band 1. Anytime I go back to playing this game, I can't leave without playing the song at least once. Like, when you think Rock Band 1, you think this game. It is such an epic, like, this is like final boss music right here. It's like so fucking epic, so operatic. Like, man, you just need to really listen to it to like really like grasp everything that makes it so special. So yeah, pretty easy S tier. I don't really need to explain much if you've heard it before, which I'm assuming you have if you're watching this. No explanation is needed. It's an easy S tier. Celebrity Skin by Hole. I think this is a good one. This is another pretty solid grungy poppy track that combines like the grittiness of grunge and like the commercial appeal and like large attention on like hooks and vocal melodies of like alt rock and power pop. And it's a pretty catchy song. It's a pretty solid anthem. Again, really, it's like most of the songs in this A tier right here. Really nothing wrong with it, and you can't go wrong with it. It's a pretty great song to just like kick back and just like rock out to. It's pretty easy A tier. Don't really need to say much more than that. Really solid, really well put together song, I think. All right, we're back to the Wave Group covers, everybody, and boy, oh boy, we got potentially the worst one of them all. What a disservice. Iron Maiden's Run to the Hills cover is so goddamn bad. The vocalist just does not even fucking try. Women and children and go and run to the hills. Run for you. It sounds like me almost when I sing this goddamn song. F. No, E, because the original song is like bonkers, so awesome, and still winded up being DLC, which is a testament to how fucking bad the cover was. Because, like, the Black Sabbath songs, like, they didn't wind up getting a master recordings as DLC. They stuck with the wave group covers because they were good. Iron Maiden, Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills over here. Nope, cover was so bad it eventually got a master recording as DLC. That bad, people. Fucking sucks. Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jets? I have a sort of love-hate relationship with this song. Like, on the surface, it obviously rocks pretty hard. Like, this is a pumping, like, balls to the wall, foot pressed down on the gas pedal song. But, like, is it, like, super derivative? And can you, like, pinpoint, like, precise influences that this band shamelessly stole from in this song in particular? Because the lead riff is straight up a ripoff of Lust for Life by Iggy Pop. Like, straight the fuck up. But still, despite all that, you can't deny, like, how hard the song goes. And because of that, I think it's fair to put the song in the C tier. Yeah, R.I.P. Ace Frehley. We have Kiss's Detroit Rock City. And kind of like Bon Jovi, Kiss is another band I'm not really too fond of. But Detroit Rock City is a pretty solid song. Most of you are going to remember this song off of, like, its inclusion in Paul Blart Mall Cop, which, God, in my brain, this song is tied to that song, like, this song is tied to that movie just, like, so goddamn much. I can't think of one without the other. Does that affect my enjoyment of the song? Yes, and when I say that, I mean it enhances my enjoyment. The song itself, fuck off. The song itself is still pretty good, too. I think it's one of the better Kiss songs. I would say tier B, to be honest. I mean, dude, it's Gimme Shelter. Are you fucking serious? Do I need to say anything? The best voice crack ever recorded, man. Highway Star by Deep Purple, S tier. I don't even need to really say anything. Speaking of, like, balls to the wall, foot pedals to the gas, man. This is just, like, straight up pure masculine testosterone dripping energy for, like, 6 straight minutes. It's fucking awesome. Everything that makes Deep Purple so, like, profound, like, so emblematic of, like, early, almost proto heavy metal with bits of prog rock here and there. Like, everything that makes that style of music just so memorable is presented in that song. And you get a whole extravaganza of 6 minutes with it. It's great. Enter Sandman by Metallica. You know, with the covers that we ended up getting on this song, it kind of shocks me how they were able to get a master recording for this song, for Metallica, in 2007, not far off from the whole Napster controversy. However, with that being said, I think its inclusion of this song, I think this song's inclusion in the game, pretty reasonable. It's Metallica's biggest song to date, one of Metallica's biggest songs to date, and it is a pretty good entry-level song for, like, pretty much every instrument. Like, it's not too difficult and, like, on any instrument in any really area of the song, but it is, like, still good practice and, like, still a good song to, like, get people interested, invested in learning different instruments because of its simplicity, but also because it's just so fun to play and, like, on all instruments, really. And the guitar solo is still fun to FC. And the song itself is still pretty good all around, even if it's, like, marked, like, I guess Metallica's sellout era, if you really want to call it that. I still think it's a pretty solid song, even if there are other, like, Black Album songs I enjoy much more, like Of Wolf and Man, and Holier Than Thou, and shit like that. But Enter Sandman, it's a classic for a reason. It's one of their biggest songs for a reason, and the intro is pretty well put together, pretty foreboding, pretty good stuff. B tier, yeah, it's fine. God, the Wave Group cover of Mississippi Queen. Like Sabotage, this is another song that was featured in Guitar Hero 3, and it was also a cover there, and the cover there was way better. They got a vocalist that had some actual fucking grit to him. Like he actually captured the southern bluesy vibe of the song, of the original song. Uh, an aspect that was not carried over into this cover, which is done by the same group. I mean, I don't expect them to use the exact same recording over two different games, especially considering the two are at like competition with each other. Would have been kind of ridiculous, but either way, you could have at least tried, man. They got the most incongruous vocalist they possibly could find. Like, no southern bluesy gritty flair to this man at all. It just sounds like they just picked up a random fucking harmonics executive and just like, here, man, just cover this song. Come on, man, we need a vocalist. The other vocals we have went out to lunch and we don't have enough time. You just got to do this, man. Yeah, it sounds like ass. And it's another case of the original song being so fantastic that hearing a cover this poorly put together just makes me want to cry. It's really bad. Maybe the worst cover they've ever done. Okay, maybe not the worst. I'll have to think on that for a second. But still, it's among the bottom tier. It's E. Ooh, yes, baby. Speaking of Southern rock magic right here, you want a gritty-ass Southern rock song, you got it right here. Molly Hatchet, baby. I'm traveling down the road, I'm flirting with the disaster. Along the road. Yeah, this is a pretty good one. Insanely fun guitar chart, insanely fun drum chart. Every instrument really is fun as hell to play, and it's just a classic too. A real Southern rock staple, and I think more people should like give this band some props. Not for just this song, but for like their entire like run during this era. Just super classic shit. You can't go wrong with it. You're keeping it still. 9 Inch Nails, The Hand That Feeds. As a big 9 Inch Nails fan and someone who like holds albums like The Downward Spiral like near and dear to their heart, something that is a little more simplistic, a little more, I guess, I don't want to say generic, but like it still has it's still like a bit of a like drop off from like what he was doing back in the early to late throughout the 90s. This is a bit of a step down, but with that being said, I still think this is a pretty solid like alternative rockification, if you want to say, of like his usual blend of like bleak, dark electronic rock. It's got his qualities that has made his previous music stand out, and of course, it's still a pretty catchy song. It's fine, but the funny thing about this song, in the context of this game, as we all know, this game had the mechanic of the big rock ending, where at the end of certain songs, you would just like bash your fucking instruments as hard and fast as you can to like get a big final score push at the tail end of the song. And the reason I bring that up for this song is because this also had a big rock ending. I don't know why. It does not fit at all. It sounds very fucking weird. Now, is that going to make me rank it lower? No, but it's something I thought I should probably bring up. Either way, this song is a B tier, I think. It's solid, but like there are so many other 9 Inch Nails songs that you could have really picked. Even if we take the time period into consideration, like I get why this was picked, because it was like 9 Inch Nails' big hit song at the time. But still, the songs they wound up picking for the DLC were much better inclusions to really represent the band in like a band game format. You know what I mean. That is also true for this song, Nirvana's In Bloom. For the first Nirvana song Harmonix ever put in their game, I believe. No, Guitar Hero 2 had a cover of a Heart-Shaped Box. But for the first like full band game that they ever done, this is a bit of an odd choice. The song is kind of boring, even by like pure warm-up standards. I do think that like Smells Like Teen Spirit or like Come As You Are would have been a better pick for like an entry-level warm-up song for Nirvana. Not Smells Like Teen Spirit. That wouldn't be really warm up, would it? But no, Come As You Are would have been like a fantastic choice, which is funny that I bring that up because throughout this past year, so much lost content related to the game has been dug up, including some like Metallica songs that were supposed to be featured, and apparently a Wave Group cover of Come As You Are was originally planned to be in the game, but was ultimately scrapped. It was another Wave Group cover that sounded like shit, which I guess I understand why it was cut, I guess. But either way, I think as a song, In Bloom is fine. No, actually not fine. It's pretty good. But like, is it fun to play on any instrument? Not really. And I think there were like a ton of better choices for Nirvana, for an easier Nirvana song. So I think B tier is an okay placement for it. All right, we got Here It Comes Again by OK Go. Pretty solid indie rock song, mid-2000s indie song. There's not much I can really say about it other than that it's pretty fun. It's fine. It's a song. It's a song that exists. You know. It's fine. It's cool. It's all right. It's a song. It's there. It's in the game. It's fine. You know. Okay, go. Okay, go to the next song. Wave of Mutilation by Pixies. This is another one that winded up becoming a full album DLC, and yeah, it's like a staple of indie rock, alternative rock. It is like single-handedly responsible for this album right here. This one right here. Kurt Cobain admitted himself he ripped off the Pixies. And Wave of Mutilation is a pretty good inclusion for a game like this, for the main track list. Song's pretty fun to play on drums. Song's pretty fun to play on guitar too, I believe. And overall, it's got this like catchy punk energy to it with a pretty good hook and a pretty good pre-chorus too, which is where the fun drum charting like really kicks in. I think it's a pretty good one. Are there better songs off this album? Maybe, sure. But in terms of which Pixies song is like the most fun to play on like a full band like emulated video game, I would go with this one or maybe Debaser. But A tier is pretty good. The Police, Next to You. Speaking of prioritizing songs that are more fun to play over songs that people might recognize more, this is a much better pick. Because Next to You is certainly not going to appear on anybody's like top 10 best Police song lists. But like, still, like this is a pretty good pick for like a Rock Band game. Because it's so fun to play on like all instruments. And of course, just like the Pixie song that we just covered, it's also got an undeniable punk energy to it. And a strong chorus. And just a strong song overall. Yeah, I really can't go wrong with this one. Again, just like that Doolittle song, just like Wave of Mutilation, are there better songs that are of better quality that you could have picked? Maybe. That's arguable, debatable. But is this one of the most like technical and fun to play Police songs? Certainly. Absolutely. God. What is this song called again? Jesus Christ, I don't remember anything about this song. I know how it goes, and it's playing in my head, but I can't remember the name of it. What the fuck is this song called? All right, 7. Duh. 6, 7. Yeah, it's a fine song, I think. Yeah, not much to it, I don't think. It's whatever. This next song, however, Go With The Flow by Queens of the Stone Age. That lead riff, man. You know the one. It's playing in your head right now. He said I threw myself away. They're just photos and they're all. There's just so many little subtle bits and pieces like the guitar playing and like the guitar interplay and everything like that. This song just like sticks in your head so well. It's so short, but like it sticks with you, man. I love this song. One of my favorite tunes off of Songs for the Deaf, which is already one of my all-time favorite rock albums. Yeah, and this is a highlight off of a highlight. So I don't need to say much beyond that. It's a classic. Through and through, really. Radiohead's Creep. One of only 3 Radiohead songs that have made it to an official Harmonix game. Not including like customs and shit like that. Only 3. And I mean, I know Creep is like highly regarded by the fan base. Not so much by the band itself, but I've never been the biggest fan of this song. The chorus is obviously great, and I love the way the guitar sounds. The grungy, scrungy, just really fucking noisy, dissonant guitar playing, which apparently was a result of the band trying to self-sabotage the song, but it ended up being the most iconic part of the song, which is fucking crazy to me. But of course, that's bar trivia knowledge at this point. We all know about this. But outside of that, it's alright. I don't mind it. Boring as hell to play on drums because you're just playing the same pattern over and over again. But it's fine. I think C tier is alright. It's a perfect, like, 6 out of 10 song, I believe. Hey, oh, let's go. Hey, oh, let's go. Hey, oh. Yeah, this one's a classic. A tier. That's all I need to say. Like, the original punk rock anthem. What else can you say? Alright, Orange Crush by R.E.M., the Denver Broncos theme song. This is R.E.M. trying to challenge a bit of that U2 late 80s alt-rock, big music energy. I guess that's what people call it now. And I think the result is pretty good. It's a pretty anthemic, pretty in-your-face song, even if its messaging about like rebelling or whatever is a little like kind of silly, almost kind of vague, doesn't really like say much of anything noteworthy. But like it's a fine song. It's catchy. I think B tier is alright tier. Reptilia, known for being the theme song of Guitar Hero 3 and the theme song of Rock Band 1. Such an iconic song that it is so heavily associated with not one rhythm game, but 2 rhythm games. I mean, that pre-chorus riff, dude, like, how do you even go about writing something like that? Fuck it, S tier. Cherub Rock by Smashing Pumpkins, another song that's shared with Guitar Hero 3 that was also the de facto theme song of both games. Also, great guitar playing that sticks in your head, except this has the added bonus of having one of the greatest guitar tones I have ever heard. S tier, bitch! We are on a roll, I think. Black bandana, sweet Louisiana. I don't remember the lyrics off the top of my head, so, but Danny California is, I think it's alright. I think it's pretty solid. And Red Hot Chili Peppers are another one of those bands I could never really get into, mostly due to the fault of Anthony Kiedis' obnoxious vocals, but like, he's mostly kept in check here, as sour as that and sour and callous as that sounds. But like, because he's kept in check here, it's a lot more. The song is a lot more tolerable as a result. So like any song where Anthony Kiedis is a little more laid back, a little more chill, is a net positive for a Red Hot Chili Peppers song, and because of that, it allows the sheer talents of his surrounded bandmates to really shine through a little bit. Like, the guitar playing on this is honestly pretty fantastic. I love the solo. I love playing the solo. Fuck it, A tier. Vaseline by Stone Temple Pilots. This is another song that has a really weird, almost arbitrary big rock ending. Also, I forgot to mention this with Cherub Rock because I was just too focused on like how awesome the song is, but like, this is over tiered to hell on guitar. A 5 dot on guitar. I mean, I guess the solos might be a little tricky to sight read, but like, no, this is like a 4 dot at the absolute most on guitar. Yeah, Rock Band 1 and 2 had Now, really, all the Rock Band games has had like trouble with tier, and 3 had the issue of under tier in songs. If you know, you know. And Rock Band 1 is the opposite. It had trouble with over tier in songs, but that's all irrelevant. Vaseline is a pretty good song, pretty energetic cut from them. Could they have picked something like Interstate Love Song or Plush that ended up being on Rock Band 3 instead? Perhaps, but you can't go wrong with Vaseline. It's a pretty good one. B tier is fine. Black Hole Sun. Oh man. Do I really have to say anything, really? Such like such an anthem, really, a psychedelic, like apocalyptic anthem. Never has like, it almost sounds like the end of the world, but like in a bittersweet way. Like, I know it's a bit of an odd way to put it, but that's my interpretation of this song, and for that I love it. It also better shows like Chris Cornell's range, like how he can like handle like more solemn, more subtle like vocal harmonies and shit like that. It's pretty good all around, and the solo is great too. Really lovely, like the psychedelic attention to the song as well. But moving on to Fall Out Boy's Dead on Arrival. Man, you want song, if you're a drummer, this is the song that you're going to pick each and every time you boot up this game. It's a very fun chart. Pretty fun chart on all instruments, I think. I think the vocal chart is pretty underrated in terms of like being one of the better vocal charts in like the early Harmonix games. Pretty fun song to sing. And this has always been one of my favorite Fall Out Boy songs. It's got the energy. It's got the pop punk ethos and sound to it without sounding too overbearing, too cringe, as much as I hate the word cringe. It's a pretty solid cut from them. Pretty ballsy to include this song over like any of the songs that came out on Infinity on High, because like, you know, 2007 and all that. It's like Thanks for the Memories was like fucking everywhere when this game came out, but like, nope, you're gonna get a song from our first album, baby. Perhaps it was a licensing issue, and I just sound like I'm full of shit right now. But either way, I think they made the better decision, like, at the end of the day. I think this is definitely, like, hands down one of Fall Out Boy's better songs. I think A tier. The Clash, Should I Stay or Should I Go? Should I Gay? Did I just say Should I Gay? I think I did just say Should I Gay. Anyway, moving along, this is a good one. I think Combat Rock is kind of a messy, mismatched album, to be honest. Really inconsistent, but this is one of the better tracks off this album, I think. And it is a pretty good introduction to like the mechanics of the game, because I believe this is considered the easiest song on like all instruments besides drums, if I recall correctly. It's a fine song, pretty good warm-up track for every instrument. I think B tier is good. And the Guitar Hero 3 shared classics just keep on coming. I don't like this one as much as Repetilia or Cherub Rock, but like, The Killers, When You Were Young is still a classic. Bonafide indie rock, mid-2000s all-rock classic. I have a lot of childhood nostalgia with this song. It's a pretty good way of like capturing that like Bruce Springsteen Heartland rock sound for like an indie alt-rock loving audience. I think it's got a pretty killer sound to it overall, so I think A tier is a fine placement for this. And alright, we are almost done, and we are moving on to one of the most underrated cuts on this game, the New Pornographers, the electric version. Man, if I can't go without my quirky power pop, indie pop for a day, I don't know where I'd be. And this song just like scratches that itch so perfectly, so fun, surprisingly technical, and pretty fun to play on all instruments. It fires on all cylinders. It's such a fun song. Almost quirky, like almost Zolo energy to it. I like it a lot. A tier is pretty good. Alright, we have the Wave Group cover to end all Wave Group covers. The Outlaws, Green Grass and High Tides. Man, I'm so used to this cover, I don't even know what the original sounds like anymore. That's just how well this cover was put together, man. And like the guitar chart on this is one of the most fun like guitar charts. Some of the most fun you'll ever have playing guitar on any of these games, really. It's difficult. It's got a lot of different crazy patterns to it, but it is not too overbearing. I think any like casual player should be able to pass this just fine if they save enough overdrive. I'm definitely never gonna fucking FC this song. Like, are you kidding me? But still, I don't even really mind it because the song is just so fun to play, just regardless, and fun to listen to. It is like a southern prog rock monster, behemoth of a song. And the cover is really, really well made too. Maybe the original is better. I'd have to listen to it again just to be really sure. But like still, just a simple fact that I'm more accustomed to the cover than the original is unheard of, even for like all the other covers that were pretty well made. Like, that's a true testament to how well this cover was made. Or how good this cover is. Of a song that's already good to begin with, mind you. Alright, we have Epic by Faith No More, and it's in the name, man. This song is epic. Can you feel it? See it? Hitting today. If you can't, then it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, pretty good rap rock crossover with a lot of theatrics that are just super endearing. And the whole song is just, again, epic, really. Yeah, there's like really nothing wrong with it. It's got multiple segments that like pull from multiple different areas of like rock and almost metal too. It's great. Like, this song just does everything right. It does a lot of things and it does it all right. Epic song. Timmy and the Lords of the Underworld. South Park, man. This is such an odd inclusion, but like, I'm happy for it either way. Super fun to play too. And I have to admit I've never seen an episode of South Park, but like, damn if this doesn't at least slightly pique my interest in it because it's such a silly song. I'd love to hear it in the context of whatever episode it plays in, if it does play in an episode, I'm not sure. But still, if you're looking for like comedic, like thrash metal, which is usually never done right, you got a good example of it right here. Outside by Tribe. This is an underrated one. Talk about underrated. This is like maybe the most underrated cut on this entire game. I'm a massive sucker for like this late 80s, early 90s, jangly, post-punk influence alternative rock. And this song scratches that itch like phenomenally. Like, I am like completely interested, like invested in hearing more that this album does. I'll have to listen to this album like in its entirety at some point soon because I like this song a lot. We're getting close to the end here. We have the Hives, Main Offender. I was thinking they included a different song for a second. Apologies for that. But Main Offender is a pretty good one. It's got that energy, that rambunctious, quirky energy that the Hives have always been known for. And it's just a fun song overall. It's a pretty fun, simple, catchy, rockin' garage punk tune that, if you're into this sort of thing, yeah, you can't go wrong with it, really. Easy A tier. Alright, we have Say It Ain't So by Weezer. This is another example where they could have picked a different song that might have been more fun to play on instruments, like Buddy Holly, for example, or Undone the Sweater song. I would say My Name is Jonas, but that would probably push it into ripping Guitar Hero 3 setlist off territory a bit too much, because one more shared song between the games, and yeah, people would start to raise an eyebrow. But either way, in terms of like the song itself, Say It Ain't So is pretty good. Even if I've never been a big fan of Weezer, I think this being one of their more popular songs is valid, and it's not without reason. I get it. It's got a pretty good build-up, pretty good verses that build up to a pretty good core. It's a pretty good song all around. I think B tier is pretty good. Alright, best song to play on drums, hands fucking down. It's S tier for that alone. The Who's Won't Get Fooled Again. Yeah, like, seriously, are we joking now? If you're a drummer, Like, this is like the de facto song for you. You do not leave the game unless you play this song at least once. And it's fun on all the other instruments too. And it's such a classic song altogether too. And now we have Maps by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. It's a pretty solid song, pretty good indie rock tune. I would say like the early to mid 2000s, like during that whole indie rock explosion, this particular record like really stood out to me as like a solid combination of like more like atmospheric, psychedelic, almost experimental songs that like slow things down a bit and like bring like the atmosphere and like the textures to like the limelight a little bit more. But it also like has like your rockin', your like energetic, your loud and noisy garage punk tunes as well. This whole album is like a perfect combination of those two sounds. And Maps is definitely a solid example of like the former, where it's one of their most like interesting songs sonically. Like the sound palette to this is really rich, really amazing. Like the guitar is like so subtly psychedelic. It really puts you in like a state of like hypnosis. It sounds really, really interesting. I like it a lot. And of course, it's all in conjunction to like this like almost tribal like type of drum rhythm that it's got going on, that's like pulsating throughout the song. And of course the chorus just sticks in your head too. I think it's like altogether just like a fantastic song. S tier easy. Suffragette City by David Bowie. I mean, I don't want to say of all the songs from Ziggy Stardust you pick this one, because really, could you really go wrong with any of the songs off this classic LP? Of course not. But like it's clear, like through like a lot of the other songs here, they were focused. Harmonix were like focused on what song would be like the most fun to play, and I think Suffragette City over something like Starman is like a good example of that too. This is a classic song. It's good in like a bunch of different areas. Like in terms of like more like traditional hard rock, glam rock Bowie songs, this is definitely one of the better ones. It rocks pretty hard. I love listening to it. Easy S tier, to be honest. All right, one of the most infamous songs in the Harmonix catalog, we have I Get By Honest Bob and the Factory to Dealer Incentives. Man, I don't hate this song as much as other people do, but like, man, it's pushing that quirkiness a bit too far for me. It's really reaching into like annoying territory for me. But again, I don't hate it as much as other people do, but I have to bring it down a tier just because of that vocal chart, because that vocal chart is ass. Like, speaking of charts that give me PTSD, that vocal chart is complete nonsense. That bridge, dude, how the fuck have people FC'd this song? I remember seeing a YouTube video where this guy fucking FC'd the vocal chart on trombone. Like, how? You have to be like a goddamn god. This vocal chart sucks ass. Fuck, I hate it. D tier. Yes, the Acrobats Day Late Dollar Short. Chat GPT, generate me a punk song. I don't care for it. Death of the Cool, Can't Let Go. I believe this is a band whose inception is entirely because of this game and only because of this game. Like, it exists only because of this game. I believe that's the case. Like, I believe this is an in-universe band, which is pretty interesting to me. Even if the song itself is really nothing special, I think it's fine. I can't really say much about it. It's alright. It's an easy C tier. And, oh god, the Conks, 29 Fingers. Are one of the bandmates, like, are one of the band members just missing a fucking finger? Or do they just use 29 Fingers because it's more... because it's catchy and rolls off the tongue better? It's phonetically better. Because 30 fingers, yeah, man, we're having fun. Yeah, I don't think that would work as well. So maybe they just had to compromise. Maybe they just had to do it Yakuza style and just like have one of their members like cut off one of their fucking fingers for the sake of making a phonetically better chorus. Either way, I think the song is just so goofy, so stupid, so undeniably charming. You can just tell how much fun the band members were having with the song, which is funny to me when I hear people talk about how much they hate it and how it's like one of the worst, if not the worst songs like in this game, and among like all the track lists in all the Rock Band games, which I don't know, man. I think you guys just need to learn to have a little bit of fun. Blood Doll by Anarchy Club. This is another one of those songs that have appeared in like all those early Harmonix games, and if you're a veteran of this sort of genre, then you should be well familiar with the song. And I think Blood Doll is all right, I guess. There are much better Anarchy Club songs, I think, like Collide that was featured in Guitar Hero 2, and Get Clean that was featured in a Rock Band 2. But Blood Doll is not too far behind. I think it's alright. Seems to be an appropriate tier. Alright, Time We Had by the Mother Hips. Man, we're really closing things out with the local Boston Harmonix bands. The song's kind of boring. Like, it's alright. It's comfy. It's got a sort of like Duster-esque like atmosphere to it, if you know what I mean. So I think B tier is a fine placement. It's not really, doesn't really have much going for it, but it's alright when it's on, I suppose. Oh my god. The Wave Group cover for Rush's Tom Sawyer. It's so bad. It's bad beyond the vocals too, because like the mixing is just murders the keyboards, dude. But of course it comes back to the vocals, much like any Wave Group cover. The main issue comes back to the vocals, and in this particular case, we got the worst offender of the bunch to close this video off with. It's bad, dude. And what you say about society is what you say about society. I said society twice, dude. My brain is scrambled because this cover fucking melts my brain. You know what? We don't have F tier covered, and because this cover offends me to the core so goddamn much. You know what? We'll throw this in the F tier. You know what? We will make this. We'll give this its own name. There. It's terrible, man. Fucking terrible. And there's the Rock Band 1 tier list. There it is, baby. B tier is the dominant tier in this case, which I was kind of expecting going into this. Like, as the first Rock Band game, it's pretty solid. Like, there's some pretty good cuts here and there, and some of the local songs are surprisingly good. But, like, it's average at the end of the day. There's a reason why I don't go back to this one nearly as much as the other games. But, like, overall, it's a pretty good first outing, I think. Those are my thoughts. That's the video. See you bitches later.